OpenArt's top plan is 106,000 credits for $175. Flova's top plan is 40,000 for $167. Same day, both off their own pricing pages. But is that gap real? Here is Flova's pricing page. Billed annually, starter is $17 a month for 2,000 credits, plus an 800 credit bonus. Basic is $42 for 5,000 plus 3,000. Plus is $84 for 10,000 plus 8,000. And Pro is $167 for 20,000 plus 20,000. 4 tiers, 1 currency, and every number on this screen came off that page. Now OpenArt, also on annual billing. Starter is $13 for 4,000 credits. Plus is $27 for 12,000. Pro is $44 for 24,000. Wonder is $175 for 106,000. Notice the second column, though. OpenArt also prints what those credits buy, roughly 4,000 images and 50 videos on the entry plan. Flova prints no equivalent. Stack the 2 ladders side by side, and the pattern holds on every rung. 4,000 credits for $13 against 2,800 for 17. 12,000 for 27 against 8,000 for 42. 24,000 for 44 against 18,000 for 84. It is not one cherry-picked tier, it is the whole ladder. Scale is the other thing sitting in plain sight. OpenArt's own homepage claims it is loved by more than 10 million creators, brands, and studios, and it has been shipping publicly for years. Flova is the newer arrival, and across the last 30 days, its visible footprint is mostly its own posts, and a handful of tutorial creators. That is not a knock on the product. It is a note about how much independent road testing exists. Run this through 4 different lenses and it stops being simple. The working creator says, judge a plan on what it produces in a month, not on a credit balance. And OpenArt is the only one of the 2 printing output counts. The capability analyst says neither company trains the underlying model. OpenArt resells more than 100 image, video, and audio models. Flova curates a shorter list. The skeptic pushes back hard and fairly. A credit on one platform is not a credit on the other. Flova's own sign-up offer values 300 credits at $3, which is about a cent each. OpenArt's entry plan works out near 1/3 of a cent. Different currencies. The Economist adds that Flova sells metered seconds, and its headline rate of 3 cents a second is a 480p rate. And OpenArt does not get a clean pass here. On the 13th of August, a user on r/generative AI posted a detailed complaint about the company. Credits that do not roll over, a payment method they say they could not delete, which cost them an extra month, a refund request that was turned down, 17 points, 90% upvoted, 20 comments. That is the strongest criticism in the last 30 days. What happened next matters just as much. An account identifying itself as OpenArt staff replied in the same public thread, apologized, and asked for the account details so billing could look into it. Another commenter in that thread put it plainly, the platform is good, they said, but wait for a deeper annual discount before subscribing. Criticism about billing mechanics, not about the output. Hold on to that distinction. So here is the honest answer to the number I opened with. As a credit comparison, no. That gap is not clean because the 2 currencies do not buy the same thing, and anyone quoting it as 2.5 times better is overselling. But swap credits for published output and the advantage does not vanish. OpenArt tells you it is roughly 300 videos on the $44 plan. Flova gives you a rate card and leaves the arithmetic to you. Now, the finding that reframes this entire comparison, look at what each platform actually sells. Flova's pricing page names Cance 2.5. OpenArt's model list names Cance 2.5 as well. The same Frontier video model is sold by both of them, which means the head-to-head on raw clip quality is close to meaningless. You are not comparing 2 engines, you are comparing 2 storefronts wrapped around the same engine. So if the engine is shared, the whole decision moves somewhere else. It moves to the workflow layer on top and to what a plan actually buys you in a month. That is a much better question than which one has nicer clips, and it is the question the rest of this video answers. 6 things to check before you put a card down on either of them. First, price the job, not the plan. Take one real piece of work you actually publish and cost it on both. On Flova, Cance 2.5 runs 8 to 96 credits a second, so a 5-second shot is 40 to 480 credits depending on settings. At Flova's own valuation of about a cent a credit, That is 40 cents to nearly $5 for one shot. Run your real shot count through that before you subscribe. Second, resolution is the variable that quietly breaks price comparisons. Flova's headline offer is 3 cents a second, and the small print attaches that to 480p. Nobody monetizing a channel is publishing at 480p. Flova's page does list up to 4K, and the credit cost climbs with it up to 150 credits a second at the top of the band. So when you compare rates, compare them at the resolution you actually ship. Third, and this is the one that genuinely separates them, on the 23rd of June, OpenArt shipped Director. Their announcement says it builds a complete 5-minute film with consistent characters, scenes, lighting, and audio from a conversation. Not a 5-second clip you then stitch. 5 minutes in one thread. Flova's published surface is projects, generator, asset library, skill, Flova TV, and a command line tool. Strong pieces, but no stated long-form equivalent. Fourth, in this category, the model you love gets superseded roughly every quarter, so breadth is insurance rather than a vanity metric. OpenArt lists more than 100 models on every tier. Flova runs a curated set. On throughput, OpenArt lists 8 parallel generations at entry rising to 32, while Flova lists single model concurrency of 5 rising to 15. If you batch, that difference shows up in your week. Fifth, and this is where you should take that complaint seriously rather than wave it away, check whether credits roll over before you pay for a year. The user in that thread says OpenArts do not. Check how you remove a payment method, and check the refund position while you still have leverage, which is before you subscribe, not after. None of that is unique to OpenArt. All of it is worth 10 minutes of your time. Sixth, and this is the blind spot in the entire conversation, neither company publishes a clear answer to what happens to your generated library if you stop paying. That same complaint thread alleges the user was told their creations would be deleted if they did not resubscribe. Whichever you pick, export your finished work as you go, and do not let either platform be the only place your archive lives. Here is a cost most comparisons skip entirely. Faceless channels do not just burn video, they burn images on thumbnails, storyboards, and stills. OpenArt's entry plan lists up to about 4,000 images a month. On Flova, images run 5 to 25 credits each and come out of the same pool your video is spending. Both use the same image models, NanoBanana 2 and GPT Image 2. So the difference is not quality, it is how much headroom you get. Eighth, and this one goes against the conclusion I am heading towards, so I am putting it on screen rather than burying it. Flova lists commercial use on all 4 of its tiers. OpenArt lists commercial use rights from the $27 plus plan upward. Its $13 starter does not list it. If you are monetizing, your real OpenArt entry point is not $13. It is $27. So let us redo the comparison honestly on commercial tiers only. OpenArt Plus is $27 for 12,000 credits and roughly 150 videos. Flova's commercial entry is $17 for 2,800, and its next step up is $42 for 8,000. $10 more than Flova's cheapest buys you more than 4 times the credits. Even after the caveat, the latter still leans the same way. So here is the call, and even with that caveat, it is not close. OpenArt is the better pick for most faceless creators today. On matching commercial tiers, it lists far more credits for the money. It is the only one of the two that publishes what those credits actually deliver. It carries a much wider model catalog, higher parallel throughput, and it has shipped a 5-minute long form feature that Flova has no published answer to. That is not a dismissal of Flova, it is a real tool, and there are cases where it is the right call. If you want per second control instead of a bundle, if you are producing short drama and its skill workflows fit how you already work, or if you want a command line inside your pipeline, Flova earns a look. The thing to watch is whether Flova starts publishing output counts per plan. The day it does, this comparison gets a lot closer. Every figure in this video came straight off the vendor's own pages, and they are all linked below so you can check them yourself. If you want to go and try the one that won, the OpenArt link is in the description. Start on the entry plan, price one real job on it, and let the numbers decide the rest. Thanks for watching.